Give me a one-word adjective to describe the Red Brick.
Creative.
Diversity.
Freedom.
Fun.
Community.
Inspiring, I think, would be a good word. It really inspires you to think about life differently. I love it.
What role do you think arts and artists, visual artists, performing artists, musicians, writers, what role do you think they play in our community?
Well, I think they make life fun.
I actually think they're essential. I mean, you look at any community at any period of time, and it's had people that look at, we're the mirror, but we're not just a mirror, we're the interpreters, right? We look at what the community is and what it's doing, and then sort of reflect and turn it back on itself, so that as a member of the community, you can come here and really, see what we're all about. And it's a very important role that art plays, I think, that almost no other medium. News can tell the news, but it can't give you that sort of psychological interpretation of it. Sometimes it does, but I'm just saying that basically art is this way of examining who we are in a whole different way.
I think it's a huge role, especially since it's not just artists, it's the nonprofits. I think it's just one of the few places where people can interact together and form a community. It's a community project.
I think always art, good art, and even sometimes art that you wouldn't consider good, affects your thinking and lifts your spirit and gives you the capacity to think of a lot of things in different ways and stretches your perspective. And so it's food for the soul.
What are the key components to creating a vibrant and lively community?
To have the ability to re-examine yourself, to look inside yourself, is really, really important. And otherwise, we do our day-to-day. We fall into our ruts. We don't sort of question what, why, how, who we are, that kind of thing. Art is our way of examining that. And it's not always pretty. Sometimes we see things about ourselves that isn't necessarily the brightest side, and that's important too. I mean, I think if nobody will tell us that we have bad breath, who's going to tell us? We need artists to tell us that.
I think supporting an arts community is an important part of creating a community in general. And having events like Red Brick openings and Aspen Chapel openings and supporting people throughout the community that do such art and celebrating their uniqueness and their contributions to the community and our town.
I think if you have exciting people and you let them do their thing, and in art, what we do here, there's a lot of teaching that goes on here. So we put materials in their hands, show them how to use it, and
that opens up whole new vistas for many people.
Will you describe to us, about your art, kind of what your thinking practice, what your artistic practice, what mediums do you work with?
My art, these are Monopoly boards, and they're kind of the blueprints for the new paradigm, how we can co-create a new paradigm, I guess. So this is called Let the Light In, and if you look at my older works from like 5 years ago, a lot of the stuff that was in the works then are happening in the world right now.
You know what I appreciate so much about your work is that you're an artist, and I feel like when I look at you, you don't have a choice to be an artist. You have to always create.
Yes.
And I see that by the materials that you use. I mean, you're using cardboard that you find, a sticker from an apple that you bought, a family photo. So I guess can you talk to me kind of about why that is, or what do you feel that kind of draws you to collect these things from your life and then turn it around and ask pretty serious questions?
So my studio looks like a hurricane went through it, and the more random stuff I can have in the studio, I never know when I want to add it to a piece of art. So that's kind of how that comes about. But yes, the struggle of being an artist has helped me develop, whether that's having to paint on shower curtains because I didn't have canvases around my studio, or carpet samples, which is my newest series, painting on carpet samples, which are free, you know, and basically I just soak it in a ton of acrylic paint, and it's something I can work on. So yeah, I can work on anything, you know.
And Mary, can you tell us a little bit about the artwork that you have in this current exhibit? What was the inspiration for it, and how did you make it?
These were works that I did a few years ago, and they're photo montages which utilize a lot of photographs that I've taken, as well as photographs of work that I've made. I'm a painter, and I put them together as photo montages. And then I went on to use them to create the tapestries for a show in New York at Tibet House. And really, the inspiration for these was learning how to use both my painting and my photographs in works that create the same sense that I tend to like to get with paint. But anyway, hopefully they achieve that.
What do you love about the Red Brick Center for the Arts?
I love that it houses all the nonprofits in the community. I think it's an amazing place to have in a community. It's very important. The fact that there's so much art in this town and that we all get to be housed in one area and actually have that sense of community is really great, and I'm so grateful that we have this place.
I just love it, just cruising around. I feel like I'm in a museum every time I go downtown Aspen, or especially a place like this, it's just beautiful. It's inspiring, wonderful. What a great amenity we have.
It reminds me of some of the best parts of Aspen, that we have this amazing community filled with creative people, and this is a chance for them to strut their stuff, and it's usually quite good, and it makes me feel really good to see everybody's, I know most of the artists here and have for quite a while, and so it's just reassuring to see the sort of the personality of the community on display. I think it's the way to put it.
I love the studio. The studio has been everything to me as a painter. I can't believe I have all these windows, and I get to be with all these other artists, and I get to paint every day here, at an affordable, something that's affordable for artists. And I've been waiting for years to get the studio, and I finally have it, and I'm absolutely thrilled.